If you know me, you may know that a portion of my heart belongs in Tennessee, despite being born and raised right here in the Tampa area. Let me show you a sliver of why. Hi, I'm Kaitlyn Meck, a local Tampa real estate agent who loves sharing all about Tampa and the suburbs of Hillsborough County with you guys. Make sure to subscribe, please. So, probably a big reason as to why I'm so partial to Tennessee, specifically East Tennessee, is most of my family is there now or from there. I spent a large part of my childhood there and a few years after high school there. For me, it was just so different than what I was used to here in Florida, and that it just struck me as such a magical place. A town I lived in, which is located pretty much halfway between Chattanooga and Knoxville, has a population of only just over 7,000 people at the 2020 census. The community I grew up in here in Florida has more than 3 times that, and it's not even its own town or anything here. Of course, besides just being a much less densely populated area, East Tennessee always seemed to have a ton more cool, unique tourist spots to explore. From Rock City to Ruby Falls to just about all of the Gatlinburg/Pigeon Forge area. Since then, I did discover that Florida also has tons of its own unique tourist destinations, but that just doesn't make Tennessee seem any less cool to me. Tennessee also has some topography advantages that Florida just doesn't. Mountains. These mountains make the best scenery, and the way they carve the roads out of the rocky sides of the mountains, it's just so neat, and it just makes the most interesting sights. Driving through the mountains in the spring, seeing the water from the snow melting, just seeping through the rocks like that, or even just seeing those icicles formed from that water is something that you just really don't understand from Florida, or that you would experience growing up in Florida. Also, as the history enthusiast I am, the Trail of Tears is a very sombering period of time to see memorialized. Where I lived in Tennessee most recently, I was basically right on that trail that the Native Americans took to travel when they were forced off of their lands here in the South in the 1800s. In a tiny little town in East Tennessee called Birchwood is the Cherokee Removal Memorial Park, where they do have a few statues and plaques and, of course, a little park just to educate the public about these events. This park is located right at the intersection of the Hiwassee River and the Tennessee River. The scenery, too, is one of my favorite parts. Don't get me wrong, Florida has amazing scenery of its own, but Tennessee's being so different just made me fall right in love with Tennessee in a totally different way. Looking out over the river from the ferry, watching the boats in the bass fishing tournaments, or just the recreational fishers, it's really just such a calming sight. Or maybe to catch a sunset over the water. Man, is that something. The hiking, one of our favorite parts when visiting the area. My husband and I always make some time to go visit one of our favorite parks. This park is called Pocket Wilderness by locals, but Laurel Snow Natural Area by the state of Tennessee. It is full of hiking trails, waterfalls, and neat nature. The history rooted in this area is evident too, as you see the remnants of the mining industry on your way into the parking lot, as well as alongside the trail. This was the first national recreation trail designated by the state of Tennessee. Think about it. All of this is within a 10-hour or less drive from us right here in the Tampa area. I could go on and on and on about this area, but figured maybe this is plenty to get you excited for a trip to East Tennessee. For more great trips from the Tampa area, check out this playlist. And for more about the Tampa area in general, subscribe to my channel.